In the medieval center of Florence, it's actually easy to find on the walls of the buildings many different signs and symbols, and very often you may ask yourself, what do they mean? You can find the Florentine Giglio, the coat of arms of the city, the red cross called Croce del Popolo, or an eagle carrying the bars of wool. What are the meanings of these symbolical images? Let us discover the symbols of Florence together. The Florentine coat of arms represents a red flower, so-called giglio, on the white background. Many people call this flower the Florentine Lily. Lily is not the correct name because we are in front of an iris flower. Why is iris the symbol of Florence? We cannot be certain. One of the suggestions is that the Romans, when they established the city of Florence in the year 59 before Christ, they actually celebrated the foundation of the city during the festivities dedicated to the goddess Flora between April 28 and May 3. And so, related to Flora, we had the foundation of the city called Florence, and the choice for this iconic image. However, we obviously don't have any documents that could corroborate this theory. Irises are very popular in Tuscany, in the valley of the Arno River in the springtime, and so definitely they were something very common for the locals who has always inhabited the city. The coat of arms of Florence also evolved in time because the very first shield that the city would use during the rule of the so-called Ghibelline party represented a white iris on the red background, and white irises are actually very popular. But the Ghibelline government collapsed, and in 1251 their political enemies took over the government in the city, the Guelphs, and in order to mark that very important shift in the power, the Guelphs altered the colors on the shield, and they started using white shield with a red iris on it. The funny thing is that red irises do not exist in nature, and so Florence has on its shield a flower that actually cannot be found anywhere. This is why in the 20th century, after World War II, when the Iris Association has been established in the city, they started promoting every year a competition for the producers of the irises, and the city of Florence every year finances a special prize for those who try to produce the red variety. We now have orange irises, dark red irises, aubergine color irises, but still the intense red cannot be found. Who knows if a red iris will ever grow somewhere. Another important symbol for Florence is the lion, the Florentine lion that is called Marzocco. During the Middle Ages, lions were very often used as symbols of protection, strength, wealth, and power. Imagine that in the city, until the late 18th century, there was actually a family of lions that would be kept in the cage. Initially, this cage was located behind today's Palazzo Vecchio, where there is the street, Via dei Leoni. And the people of Florence, once a year, organized a sort of ritual hunts. They would fence Piazza della Signoria, put there those lions that were a little bit starving, and they would put there also other beasts like deers or rabbits, and they would observe the spectacle of the strong beasts actually attacking and hunting in the center of the city. This, for the people of Florence, was like a representation of their own strength and of their own ability to win against the enemies. The family of lions survived in Florence until 1777, and the birth of every new generation of the new lions was actually celebrated in town. The most famous statue representing the Florentine lion is Donatello's Marzocco, that was made by the artist between 1419 and 1420. The lion was always positioned in front of the town hall. It holds under his paw the shield with the coat of arms of Florence, the Florentine Giglio. And today there is the replica in Piazza della Signoria while the original Marzocco is kept inside of the Bargello Museum. Another symbol that you can find in various corners of the historical center is a shield representing a red cross on the white background. This is the so-called Croce del Popolo, the cross of the people. It was the symbol of freedom and the symbol of the popular government, of the participation of the citizens of Florence into the rule in the Florentine Republic. This symbol was used first by the captain of people, Capitano del Popolo, and later by the Gonfaloniere di Giustizia, the offices of a supreme judge who was supposed to protect the power and the participation of the people of Florence from the ambitions of the powerful aristocrats over the local government. Also, the Florentine guilds, the arti, had their visual symbols on their coats of arms. The eagle, carrying the balls of wool, is the symbol of the most important guild, the most wealthy guild in medieval Florence, the so-called Calimala, which was the guild of the merchants. Because Calimala supported with money the construction and the internal decoration of the Florentine baptistry and the one of the medieval church of San Miniato al Monte, in both of those churches you can actually find this sign. Another important guild in Florence was the guild of the wool producers, whose symbol represented a lamb carrying a standard. And this is a symbol that you can find, for example, on the building that used to be the headquarters of the Arte della Lana, the guild of the wool producers. Where to find those symbols in the city? Many of them will be displayed on the Florentine Bell Tower in Piazza Duomo, on the Florentine Baptistry, and on Palazzo Vecchio. In Palazzo Vecchio there is a whole line of different shields painted under the coronation of the building. And this is actually a 19th century addition, a result of the 19th century restoration, but today they give you a good idea of how those symbols look like. Do you want to discover the meaning of the Florentine symbols during a guided tour? Contact us to organize your customized experience.